Alright, my preview is busted, so I can't tell what's going on. Are we here? Are we good? Someone tell me. I think we're locked in. I'm gonna sit here commentating to myself, and it's not gonna have been going through the whole time. I hope someone tells me if that happens. But in case that's not what it is, in case we are actually live right now, like I'm hoping we are, this is one of our first Bedrock games, Bedrock Capture the Flag games. We had our whole Egg Wars tournament before. This is gonna be a little different because I'm definitely an Egg Wars guy. I am not a Java guy, or Java guy. I'm not a Block Wars guy nearly as much. So I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do when it comes to these. I'm not gonna have as good of a hold in the strategies, but I'm sure we'll see some fun stuff. Be a good time. I haven't seen anything in chat yet. I'm hoping I'm here. OBS says I'm here. YouTube, not so much. I don't know. I have to open this in a new tab of my own. All right, it is there. Okay. So we're just waiting for our first. Oh, I just have a long delay. That's why. Okay, I see everyone saying it now. All right, I appreciate you guys. We are check our first map. That I can do while we're waiting here. I don't even know the CDF map, so I'll have to see them before I can actually hop on and tell you what they're going to look like. But we are going, first map we're going to be on is Castle Wars. It's a fun capture the flag map name, Castle Wars. What was that? Let me fix something real quick. And we should have the private game code momentarily. The reason I'm not already in the private game is because it's doing some weird stuff where it's kicking everyone out if I'm in the private game while it's starting. So I'm going to join right after it starts. And hopefully we avoid our technical difficulties that we would otherwise have. Go over teams. This is one of our teams is the Complex. The other team we are playing here is Guardians of the Flag, which, you know, I can't be biased as your commentator here, but if I had to pick one, Guardians of the Flag is a real cool sounding name. I can't lie to you guys. In terms of actual teams, see if I can find some things here. Oh, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, so I can't promise anything here. Guardians of the Flag, the captain is, I don't know if that's Lentja or Lentja, like it's Dutch. I don't know if you pronounce the J or not. There's Bicolor Sign, Clomerdash. I have seen some of these names before, so this team might be good. And then a lot of names I can't pronounce, so I apologize to you guys. I'm saying the names I can. And then the Complex, their captain is F5AG, and then I see someone is actually named the Complex on Team the Complex, but they're not the captain, which is funny. We'll see which players in specific are in the games once we get in the game. Can't say too much about it till then. If you hear my cat, well, he's annoying. I can't help you with that one. This is an exciting time when we have a brand new CubeCraft League tournament to work on. This is the second one we've ever had, Egg Wars obviously being first. I'm excited for this one because the game is a lot different. Egg Wars is a very particular game. It's a very played out game in Minecraft. You know, you have Egg Wars, you have Bed Wars, and Hypixel, and all those, generic types of games. It's been very, very much done. Capture the Flag, not so much. So I'm curious when we have something on the line here, what the strategies and competitiveness of something like Capture the Flag are going to be like. Because it sounds like it'll be a really good time. Someone said it sounds horrible. I don't know what we're referring to here. If my mic sounds horrible, that would be bad. I don't think my mic would be bad though, because it's a pretty expensive headset, man. I can't lie to you. I need someone to tell me I'm ready to join here before my amount of stuff I can talk about expires. Soon, TM. I like this. We got a complex fan in chat. It's funny. So who do you think is going to win? I don't know if that's referring to me or just someone else in chat, but I don't know Bedrock players enough, honestly. I will say, the complex, they have a few people whose names I do recognize. And I would tend to lean towards people whose names I recognize because if you're a Bedrock player and I recognize your name, it's probably because you're pretty good, because I don't play Bedrock that often. That's obviously not a particularly scientific way to go about things, though. All right. Getting into the game now. All right, it took me a second to get into our game here, but we are here. PG Spectate's being a little sad. But we have a bunch of kills going on in chat. Obviously, way more action-packed than Egg Wars, right? So I want to take a peek real quick. Team Red is the complex. We got an egg, we got a bunch of wood, and then you see it's set up so that you have to break a wood and a terracotta or a clay to get in, which means you have to switch tools. Makes it a little harder to get in here. Going to see a similar thing over on blue. Although I was pretty sure that complex was this team, so my colors might be backward. We have to check on that. Do you see this team blue over here? We have buttons going on. Very, very different little defense here. We do have a flag capture just right off the bat, right? And you see something interesting, which is, I wonder if the goal is to make it hard to get out of, because it doesn't seem to be particularly difficult to get to this flag right now. My scoreboard's also not showing up. Score right now would be 1-0 towards blue after that capture we just saw. See, Clomer Dash is trying to get in again, but it's probably going to go down as we see Two people converging is able to block themselves off. There's going to be another one on top. Does go down. Thank you, on with the score. That helps. Call this person Gab. It's the best way I can pronounce the name. Gab's coming in from the top. Can't break down too easy, but there is a spot available. Saleh on Team Red does see that, though. Have this nice bridge that Red made all the way from one base to another, even with the little head hitting on top. Clomerdash is going to try to go through. They both get knocked off. Him and F5. F5 is the captain of Guardians of the Flag, I believe. Clomerdash going up and down the ladder over here, maybe taunting a little bit. This is Gab that has gotten into the flag and blocks himself in. You have to camp on the flag for a little bit to be able to actually pick it up. Doesn't happen immediately, which is why we see the block in there. Axe to get out the side, and Gab is going. Probably just going to see him build straight over this void. Now they do use the previously built bridge here. Good hit by Saleh over there to get the flag back. That was actually, I think the flag gets captured if you don't see that hit off the edge right there. So that was as perfect as needed to be. You do need to see from Red a flag capture right about now. I haven't seen anything really going on this side of the map. See, F5 is in, but there are every single member of Team Blue is in this little. Maybe that's why they're doing this. They have this little trench, and they can hit at people's feet while they're doing that. That's very interesting. I'm not familiar with the capture flag defense strategies, so we're all going to learn a lot together here. Say Ganda instead of Gab. Okay, I don't know if you're someone who's actually on this team who's telling me, but I don't know people, so if I'm supposed to say Ganda instead of Gab, I guess I can say that until someone tells me otherwise. Lencha over here gets a couple hits. F5 does make it, but I don't imagine they have enough health to really do anything here, and they don't. Complex goes down somewhere else. Taking a look back over at Team Red's base, Clomerdash has a kill here and the flag. You can see we have these build spams going on. Not too crazy CPS or anything like people talk about sometimes, but enough to be able to get through. But also really this AB over there was the only one who was even contesting at all. So we're going to have a second capture. It's going to be 2-0. Pretty quick here. 2-0 in favor of our Team Blue. Okay, so my colors are right then. I was just wrong with who was who. That makes sense then. It is my fault. Have Dragon and then how do I say the name? Boteta Hero. Dragon comes out on top. I like the kill message. Some kung fu moves going on. The F5 is going. This is maybe the least defended I've seen the Guardian's flag be so far, but not for long as we have Ganda respawns. Lencha going up the middle again. It's going to be another. We'll see if we get two people knocking themselves off again. They just run past each other. Lencha's not going to take a trade there. Pursues back and then maybe accidentally falls off or maybe want to drop into this fight. Does go down with an extremely excessive kill effect. Oh my god, I like that one though. That one's fun. That's the F5. It's a lightning bolt kill effect. You can really tell someone died there. See, Dragon does go down right there to the Complex, who's also. Oh, I guess I should have known they were the Complex because they also have this player named the Complex. Game is not over yet, and I will say based on how our scoring works, even if they ended up losing this game, as Complex were able to get one flag, it would help their score. Because score here does matter for tiebreakers and stuff like that. See again, lots of defense going on for the Guardians. I guess that's their team name. They are the Guardians of the Flag. We see a little emote going on from Lencha there. I like the cow skin as well. Gets knocked out of the emote. And you can see, this defense seems like it's working out really well. You have kind of two things where because these are blocked off like this, anyone trying to capture the flag ends up getting knocked into the little trench here. And you can't capture the flag from down here. And then Blue on defense is perfectly happy to be down here because they can just poke at toes like this. So I don't know what the meta is going to be moving forward here, but it will be interesting. Now we see I don't have scoreboard, but our game timer is going to expire in 30 seconds. Guardians in this game is up 2-0 in captures, which means it's going to be more or less impossible for Complex to come back here. They can try to get one flag to make the score a little closer, make it a little easier for them in the sense of a tiebreaker, but we will in a second here be having a 1-0 in our set in favor of Guardians, as we see right there. With GG's all around, it didn't seem like, PvP-wise, it wasn't the most terribly dominating thing or anything like that. The only issue, really, was that Guardians, I mean, the name's Guardians of the Flag, right? They did exactly what they said they would do. They had pretty impeccable defense. I don't think Complex even picked a flag up, let alone, you know, got it back to their base. So that's really where the difference comes from. So we're going to have to see if there's some adjustments made either on the defensive side for Complex or on the offensive side. Obviously, if you're Guardians, you're feeling pretty good about that. Maybe you want to win 3-0 instead of 2-0 for the tiebreaker, but that's about it. Can't ask for much more. Going to just go ahead and be waiting until we get into our game here. If I get in a little quicker to the next one, I might be able to save the commentary, hopefully, or the scoreboard. Hopefully that happens. Someone said, who's doing commentary? Well, me. You can't ask for a better answer than that, can you? Let me check real quick on our second map for those of you who care. Second map is going to be on Beach. So Beach is fun because Beach, you Egg Wars gamers will recall Beach is a very, very popular Egg Wars map. Probably the most popular competitive Egg Wars map. And, maybe CubeCraft builders really like beaches. They make some really stellar maps on beaches, and it'll be the same thing for Block Wars. We'll have to find out, though. I say we'll have to find out. It's more I'll have to find out, because I have not ever seen competitive Block Wars before. In my, I don't even know, man, 9 years I've been around CubeCraft in total here. Someone was chatting for me because I don't read chat that quick, but 3 rounds, yes. Same thing as our original rounds for our last tournament were, where they're going to be best of 3 to start off. And I don't know if we've heard yet, but I imagine that our finals would be best of 5, kind of similarly. Right now, again, just waiting on our next private game. I don't want to join too early to avoid people getting kicked out. I'm going to one-shot this parkour real quick. Never mind, I fully froze as soon as I started. Oh, I should have been an F5, I fell. I did that twice. I was on the leaderboard in parkour on Bedrock for a long time. I think I would be able to do this. And Java 2 back in the day. There's some really hard parkour courses, though. Haven't finished all of them. I think you're supposed to go on the vines here. Yeah. All right, I am going to pause this until we get into our, I will update our score as well, but I'm going to pause until we get into our next thing here. So we are 1-0 in favor of Guardians for right now. 2 games to win, so they are 1 off. Guardians win our next game, then we will be done with this round, and they will move on to our, oh, I don't remember what round it is, round of 32. All right. Back in our game here. Tragically, no scoreboard again, but we are going. So Beach is a lot different of a map, I'm sure we can see, than our other one is. We do see a flag, at least a take from Complex. They did lose immediately. That's a good sign because I don't think we saw that the whole last game. So it is looking a little better. We see Complex go for a similar kind of strategy here. They're going for the buttons with the trench, so I guess that's a fan favorite. I do think I want to see some blocks get placed around this edge so you are able to actually knock people in here. If that's the goal. If that's not the goal, if it's just to avoid people placing blocks, it doesn't make sense as well. Because if you can't place blocks here, then it's obviously going to be more difficult to stand on here long enough to actually capture a fight. You kind of have to get some kills, as opposed to hiding in the other team's defense and blocking yourself in. Someone go down there. We see Dragon go down. I don't know if I saw this player Wayne Prime last game. There are 5 to a team though, so I might not have seen everyone. So 0-0 right now. So Gianna goes down on the flag here. Again, we're seeing how until we get kills, it's really hard for anyone to stay on a flag here. Because you just have these people in the trench down here, you have someone else usually, and then there's no way to block yourself in here. Again here, Team Blue are our guardians of the flag. They are up 1-0, so another win, they will take it. So F5 gets up with that sick kill effect, gets 1 kill, going for Gand as well. You see 2 bows come out. That one missed bow shot was probably the reason for death there. Could have pulled it out, but didn't work out. Let's go look at Guardian's defense over here. I like this flag. It's got a little CubeCraft banner on it. This is pretty similar. You see, we do have on this side, it is blocked in a little bit. And you have this thing I was talking about. We have these blocks on top, so someone in here is going to get knocked into this little trench when they get hit. See that happen here. Did a real good job of staying out there for a really long time, honestly. Kind of didn't let me prove my point, but alas, went down eventually. See, Wayne Pram goes down, Dragon goes down. Complex did die as a result in that fight, but obviously dying at your own base is not nearly as problematic as dying at the other team's base. A lot less space to respawn. Have Wayne Prime and Complex, who, speak of the devil, is already respawned. Does go down though, gets 3v1'd on this bridge. Gonna need some help here. We do have 3 members of Complex down here. I'm just gonna see what Captain Lynch and the other 2 members of Guardians are gonna do in response. We see 1 go down. That was a good kill by Complex. I'm going to transfer over to the other side because we do see F5 again takes the flag. Now they have a lot of ground here. They've made up a lot of ground, but the issue is lots of members of Guardians are on that side. And we see that's what happened. The reason I was able to get out so fast is because no one was over here, but got met pretty easily about halfway through. That was not in vain though, because we had a lot of members of Guardians around the flag of Complex, and they were all taken off to go kill F5, who kind of, in a way, single-handedly stopped that push. We see with this button strategy going on, it is very, very powerful defenses that are the winners here. This is going to be a lot different than something you'd probably see in a pubs game of capture the flag, where generally captures happen pretty fast. I'm seeing in chat that it seems like this is maybe the first time Complex has built a defense like this. We do see there are not buttons everywhere, so there is an opportunity. Wayne Prime came in and tried to build a little bit, but obviously if you're building blocks while you're getting hit by two people, maybe they're setting up for later. If I was Complex, I would probably think about breaking these blocks so you don't give Guardians anything that they want, but that's me, not the competitive player. Complex, I was going to say goes down over there, lands in the hay bales and lives, but it's likely still pretty low health. So we have three members of Complex over here. On the other side, a couple members dying towards Blue's flag. You see F5 is going to respawn. 2v2 goes in the favor of Complex in that fight. Dragon's now going to be in a 4v1, and that's not going to go well. Lots and lots of Complex kills in the chat here. You do see AB over here jumps on the flag for a second, doesn't last for too long. This is, I did a lot of Egg Wars games last year, or last tournament. This is probably the best recovery I've seen a team make. Complex, I'm going to knock on wood here so I don't totally jinx them, but this looks a lot better than they did last time. Now this is a little, I was going to say it's a little scary because there were a lot of Guardians on that flag, but Complex comes and wipes them. I know they were all low, but just chat, 3 kills. Saves the flag right there. Just kind of jumps in from above like a superhero. Alright, Ganda is on the flag here along with Wayne Prem. First flag take, I believe, for the whole game for Guardians. And there is a little bit of an entourage now. I'm not sure where all the members of... They're up here. Yeah, this is going to be, at this point, this is going to be captured. And it is. Alright, we have 30 seconds till overtime starts, so Guardians have to make something real quick. Do take the flag for a second, but it is immediately brought back. And that's the timer. Game is over. So here's what I'll say. Obviously, we do end up with a 2-0 in the favor of Guardians, as after that first game you would have expected. However, absolutely props to Complex for making the adjustment that second game. First game was quite dominant. Like I said, not in the PvP sense, but in the game sense and how you're building your defense and things like that. So Complex absolutely, they improved 1,000 times in that second game, and it looked for a good minute like they would be able to bring it back. At the end of the day, we saw that one moment when they looks like all of Complex died around the same time. They all respawned on that bridge, but Guardians were able to take advantage, get one flag back. But other than that, I mean, game could have gone to overtime. Anything happens in overtime. So that was, you see a 2-0, but as far as 2-0s go, as far as adjustments, I think both teams can absolutely be happy about what happened there. Obviously, you want to win, but it can't always happen, unfortunately. We will have another game today in a few hours. I think right now it's going to be at 3 p.m. my time. Going to be in about 6.5 hours from right now. I might be doing that one as well. So you want to tune in? My voice doesn't annoy you too much. Hop in that one as well. That is all I got though. So I hope to see all of you in here in whatever our next CubeCraft League game is. I think it'll be another Bedrock one, but Java as well. I'm a Java guy. I can give a little better commentary on Java, know some more people. That's all I got. Have a good rest of your day. I was going to say morning, but it's probably not morning for most people. That's probably weird.